Okay. Hello. I definitely did not forget how to do absolutely everything in the time that I have been away. It's all good. Oh boy. Thank you very much for your patience, as is sometimes the case. Yeah, I feel like I can just kind of say this at any point in time, but I'm just like, oh, my shiny brain is still recovering a little bit from being away from home for almost like 2 weeks. So I was trying to pick something that I could do to kind of like do a welcome back kind of stream. Oh my gosh, I'm here, says bracket All Might and bracket, aka Fyra. Thank you for your patience, Fyra. Yeah, so I imagine that I will probably ramble about going to the two shows that I mentioned last stream. So I did one that was called Comic Jam in Guelph, and that one was good. And then I had like a week of like downtime, and then I had Edmonton Fan Expo, which is a 3-day con, and then I had kind of like a 36-hour commute back home because I had to make some extra stops. So, but I'm back. I had my birthday. My birthday was on the 25th, so more importantly though, Fern had her birthday on the 24th. So she's 2. She's a big girl now. I'm 34. I've probably been a big girl for a while already. Thank you, Nico. Yeah, it's good. Mostly I'm just glad to be home. Both of the cons were, like, both of the shows were good. Just, I missed my kitties and stuff while we were gone, so. And I'm sure that. Hold on. We have Loki joining us currently. My sister superior, Mama Loki. I'm looking at my like little follower widget thingy, and it says I have 75 out of 50, and I feel like that doesn't math, and also is maybe not incredibly accurate. So it's like, what are you doing? Why are we lying, follower girl widget? Yeah, like that is so weird. I don't understand why it's saying that. Yeah, because I'm at 49. So, I mean, still good. Because, yeah, it's not super useful if it doesn't actually show the proper information. I've been told by one of my many managers, Fyra, that I need to do a Twitter post, so I guess I will do that. I feel like there isn't like a really easy way to like share to Twitter that doesn't feel like kind of clunky, I guess, because like on Instagram and stuff, I can just do Fire says calling me out for the DM, huh? And I'm just like, maybe. So I can share. Okay. Alright, I have made a Twitter post. There, so there. But yes, thank you for whoever's tuning in right now. I hope that you guys have had a good, I guess, Yeah, the last stream I did, I think, was on like the 12th and the 13th, maybe, or maybe the 12th. So hopefully you guys have been having a good September. I've had a very busy September, but it's good. And now I'm home, and I don't have any more events this year. So, I didn't actually do that many. It's just that they were all so close together. But yeah, it was cool. So for the Guelph Comic Jam, I brought Fern with me, and she was a very good girl. Um, she basically just slept on the table. I actually posted the pictures on my Instagram, so you might have already seen that one. She couldn't come with me to Edmonton, unfortunately. So she stayed with my family, and I missed her very much for 4 nights. And I did a couple of panels. I did a sketch contest with Heather Antos and Sammy. I'm gonna look it up because I gotta tell you her name because she's quite a cool young lady. I feel like I met a few people at Edmonton that was just like kind of more starting off a little bit, but I could see we're like really passionate and very talented. So I'm like, okay, let me put a pin in that because if I can, yeah, that would be sorry. So the sketch thingy was with Heather Antos, who I feel like people probably know who she is. She used to be a Marvel editor, and now she's working on IDW, and she's generally just a real cool gal. And Sammy Francis was the other artist who I actually had never met before, but I feel like we got along quite well, and she's very sweet. So that's Sammy Francis. She's done some Ninja Turtle covers, and I think she's getting kind of more into the superhero stuff. So yeah, I definitely, as I said, I feel like I met with a few people that I was like, not that I have a ton of like hiring or deciding power, but if I can like kind of pass them along to other like editors or like writers that I work with that I know hire for variant covers, I'd like to do that. Yeah. So right now I have a kind of blank page because I need to format my reference images, and I should probably not do that directly on the screen. So yes, Nico says, hard to believe it's almost October, but October is always the best month of the year. I mean, I'm gonna give you a cookie for saying that because hard agree. I realize maybe not the hottest take. You might be preaching to the choir a little bit, but I stand by it still. So okay, yeah, no, you can feel that it's like where I am in Ontario. It's been the weather is doing that thing where it's like, maybe I'm going to be like shorts weather, or maybe I will be like, you need a sweater and you have many regrets now, which isn't my favorite weather. Right now, I feel like we're entering into that kind of like 2 week or so period where we have just really nice fall weather that's like best temperature. And I just love taking a dog for a walk when there's like crunchy leaves on the ground. Because I know with our dog Bear, he a little bit bigger than this Fern, German Shepherd. If for those of you who are not familiar with Bear, I think you would probably be a rare occurrence of people who follow me. But yeah, I guess him jumping in the leaves is a little different because he's a German Shepherd, so he's quite large compared to like Fern going for a little run through the leaves, which are immediately like up to her like stomach. But I think she still enjoys it. Yeah, I had I don't know. I guess I haven't done like an official an official Bear statement, but yeah, I've had some people kind of make comments about being like how I don't like post about him anymore, you know. Um, and yeah, that is because he is living with my ex and I don't see him very much, but I know he's safe and I know that he's cared for, so, you know, just kind of one of the things that happens when a separation happens. So, you know, I also haven't seen, kind of coming to terms with the fact of like there might be, or there might have already been, like my last visit with the three cats who live with my ex, which is also kind of a bummer, but it's like, what are you gonna do? And I am definitely not lacking for animals here. I have Fern and I have four of the kitties, so we've got a big full house, and that sort of adjustment can be hard, but at the same time, knowing that they're somewhere like safe and loved, I think is a big deal. Yeah. So anybody was making comments about why I don't post about Bear, there you go. That's the fun answer. As far as I know, he's still a very good boy. Sorry, I will be done formatting these references very shortly. But yeah, feel free to, if you have any questions or comments, or while I am doing this, and you can't see me actually doing anything on my screen, so it's really exciting, I am happy to answer thine inquiries. Cool. Okay. So, Thyra asks, any conventions lined up for next year? With a cheeky little emoji. So far, no. But also, it's still pretty early in the year. Oh, well, I mean, it is pretty early for next year. Hey! We've hit 50 followers! Did my widget pop up? I did a widget for it. If not, that's okay. Yay! That's awesome! Jitter, I don't know if you're watching, but congratulations on being 50th follower! Big milestone! That's exciting. Now I can maybe do some more stuff now that I'm... And now I'm gonna make this followers widget go away so that we don't have to see its lying numbers anymore. Oh, hello. Go away. Okay. Hello. Speaking of my many beautiful fur children, Jack has decided to grace us with his presence, as he is so often wont to do. Hi, buddy. How you doing? How you doing? Wow. I feel like we are... Hopefully you enjoy Jack's butt, because here it is. You're so handsome from the front. Why do we always have to see your bum? Why do we always have to see your bum? He's like, Mother, this is most undignified for a gentleman of my class and dignity. Jack. But yes, so the thing that I was going to work on today was I have I have some friends who are getting married in October, best wedding month, obviously. Um, and it's a little bit hush hush because it's going to be a gift for one of the parties. But I figure that there's a very low chance of them watching this live stream, huh? I don't even know if we're like friends on Facebook. I'm just friends with one of them. But yeah, so basically, I did a drawing. Oh my god. Jack is just like, Mother, has my stream started? Yeah, the stream started. I thought I was late. So I did. Oh my god. Please, Jack. So I did a drawing of me and my boyfriend. Actually, kind of a while ago now. I think this was like a Valentine. Check. I think that this was a Valentine's Day drawing. And our friend reached out to me like after I kind of posted it, being like, you know, could I maybe get a few of these drawings kind of like in this style, so they're like mostly line art, kind of limited gray tones things, but of like kind of big moments in their relationship together. And I was like, sure, because admittedly I am still kind of new to this friend group, and I was like, resorting to my natural reaction and being like, I will draw you something, please like me. And I am starting it now. So, I probably could have started a bit earlier, but I didn't. And here we are, starting it now, together. It's a great team effort. And Nico says, currently cat sitting a couple of kitties. As soon as I am opening my laptop, they're coming running over to get between it and me. I'm not sure what the attraction is, but it looks like it's universal. It's because the cats have the launch codes, and they're just like, what are you doing in there? Apparently, I've seen a few like posts about this, where well, to me it makes sense that the cats are being like, don't pay attention to that thing, pay attention to me. I am so much more interesting and amazing. But also a thing of like they're trying to like body W, I guess. Like they want to mirror what you're doing, because they're like, my big weird cat is doing a thing, I would like to do it with them. So if you get them like a little kitty sized computer or laptop, even just, well, not, I was gonna say even a toy one, as a, because there's so many real cat sized laptops on the market. But if you get them a facsimile of a workstation, they might leave you alone a little bit. And to be fair, I feel very grateful that I get to be bothered like this, because I love my cats a lot. And they are good. They are just, they match my energy. They are obsessed. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to go and kind of sketch out, because how many am I doing? Let's see. Okay. Oh god. Contrast is so freaking bright on my one monitor. Okay, so we're doing when they first met, buying the home with their pets, when they got engaged, and then I was gonna do a slightly more involved one of them in their like actual wedding attire. So for now that is 4. So when we first met, buying a home with the pets, and getting engaged. Yeah, I admittedly, I guess you're gonna get some lore drop here, whether you like it or not. So for those of you who don't know, I got married very young. I got married when I was almost 22. And I will admit that part of it was because I am just somebody who's like, I used to be really obsessed with all the like TLC wedding shows and stuff like that, and just like the planning a big party part of it. And, you know, admittedly, like me and my, hello, Mr. Figgy. Did you bring some pudding with you today? Um, so Thyra says it was a sweltering August day, and it was. It was August 4th, 2012. And I'll let you know the reason that I chose that date, apart from kind of like picking a season, was like I wanted to do a kind of mathy thing. So August is the 8th month plus 4, and it was 2012. So it was 8 plus 4 is 12. And it was a really friggin' hot day. We did it in like a friend of a family's like barn and associated property. So it's like, I will say that we got some good pictures from it, which is kind of part of the hope when you are having a wedding. But the actual day itself was a little miserable temperature wise, and I would say I learned a few things for my next large invite. Well, I didn't even invite that many people. Also, Bedlam Knack says, "Hiya Jen, I get to watch your stream. So awesome to see and meet you at Edmonton Fan Expo." Well, thank you for tuning in, Bedlam. That's going to be your nickname. I assume that is okay. I might be drawing a blank, but if I were to see you, I'm sure I would remember you. So, yeah, no, I'm sure it was nice to say hi to you too, and thank you very much for coming and checking me out. As you can see, this is already something beautiful happening. Great art, you know. Yeah, Miss Charlotte says barn weddings are pretty sweet, and I agree. Again, I was like, you know, I was planning it kind of like 2010, 2011 going into the 2012 season. And I feel like it was definitely a little bit, it was of the time, I would say. And it's also funny to look back at the photos, which I do sometimes, because a lot of my friends who were at my wedding are still good friends now. And it's nice to have pictures from like that long ago with them. And also looking back on getting our one cat, because one of our cats came home from that wedding as a kitten. Wow, brain, great. But yeah, no, as I said, it was I was a very different person back then, I would say, especially like aesthetically. Like, to give you an idea, my colors that I did, well, that we did, but you know, admittedly, a lot of the planning was kind of like mine by choice, but also kind of like by default. The wedding colors were like kind of this bright turquoisey robin's egg blue and like a kind of like lemon sherbet yellow, which is so not you know, if I were to do it now, I would definitely not do that. I would not do it at the beginning of August in an unconditioned location. But for what it's worth, we didn't go into debt, and I'm also kind of proud of it because we did it like I graduated a couple months from college right before, so we were doing all this while I was in school, and my ex was working full-time and I was working part-time, and we just had a lot going on. So yeah, no, I feel like I can't be like, for my next wedding, because I feel like I would like to have another. I feel like there's not enough opportunities for planning kind of like dress up events where everybody comes and is like, oh my god, I'm so happy about you. I love you. You're great. You look so hot. Specifically like for a relationship. But okay. But if I was to plan a wedding type event with my current style, I feel like it would be really predictable, and like, obviously I would have like a fall sort of thing, and it's gonna be spooky. It's gonna be kind of weird. I don't know if I would do a full-on Hallow wedding, um, but I imagine kind of like doing something in like November to get some like kind of moody autumn vibes and like a lot of leaves on the ground and being like, what kind of like, because again, it's like you don't get to dress up like wedding level very much. And I realized that it was my choice, but I did it very young. So, my dress was not super expensive or fancy, and that was okay because that was kind of what I wanted. But if I had the chance to have a big dramatic dress again, I feel like I would pick something much more aesthetic than I did. Miss Charlotte says, "Can I bring a sword?" I would be offended if you didn't. But only if you scare somebody on the bus with it on the way over. Also, I feel like I should message my friend, who's the one who's kind of like commissioning this, to be like, hey, do you want to watch? Hold on, I am going to do that. I'm going to be annoying and go on my phone. Actually, I'm going to turn the sound off on my phone again so I don't jump scare myself. It's my... Don't mind me. I'm just telling somebody when I've already started doing a thing that I'm doing a thing. Cool. Alright, I've done my due diligence. And I also turned off the sound on my phone. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to just being home. I feel like October is going to be another kind of busy month because I have... I'm just like, what do I have to do? I have a few like like music things I'm going to. Me and a couple of my friends are going to Evanescence in Montreal at the end of October, which is honestly like preteen dream coming true. I have not been to that many like concerts. The first concert I went to, I just like didn't do anything when I was young. Looking back, my first concert was when I was it when I was 22? It was to see an artist called Patrick Wolf. This would have been like 2012-ish, and I thought it was really magical because it was on my birthday that year, and it was my first concert I'd ever gone to, and it was like a really small venue, like acoustic thing that he was doing in like a church in Toronto, I believe that one was. And I actually have a shirt from that he signed, and I feel a little bit bad because obviously I was like really excited to get like buy merch from the show and then have him sign it. But instead of just signing it, I told him that it was my birthday, so he wrote kind of like a longer kind of like birthday message, but it's kind of like just sort of in the way of like, not that it was like inappropriate or anything, but in such a way that it makes the shirt like kind of weird to wear because it's like there's like a big happy birthday on it. But it's a cool shirt. I don't know if anybody knows who Patrick Wolf is. He was pretty niche when we listened to him, and that was like 10 years ago. So, you know, he was, as I said, he was like my favorite artist back in the day, and getting to see him for my first concert on my birthday was really cool. Um, and then I saw Gorillaz live in Toronto, and that was pretty cool. That was around the time that their, oh my God, which album was it that had just come out? This was pre-Trump era, because I remember it was the album where they're like, basically they approached a bunch of different artists and were like, you know, we want to do a little bit of a concept album where you're kind of like imagining what life is or could be like under a Trump administration. And then we found out for real, and that album was much better than that. Okay, hold on, I can't say that and not look it up, so one moment. I apologize if I accidentally make my computer make sounds because I'm opening my Spotify. Yeah, oh God. It's alright, I'm not struggling. So I don't want, come on. All I want. This album was called Humans with a Z. That's a good one. As I said, it came out, it feels like it came out forever ago, but yeah, Gorillaz is somebody that I quite enjoy. I've seen, yeah, Nico, did you beat me to it? That is correct. I've seen Marina and the Diamonds live, and that was pretty cool. I feel like, yeah, I realized Nico just said I did. I'm glad you said it anyway, because I got to hear someone say Z, the proper way of pronouncing the final alphabet in the letter. The final letter in the alphabet. So this first little, right, wow, brain. So I've been to a few different music shows since I've been a Dragon Ball Z. That's legitimately, Miss Charlotte, I know that you're kind of joking, but when I was younger, I was so like focused on being like, that's not how we say things in Canada, that I literally called it Dragon Ball Z. And I'm sure the other kids thought I was really cool and not at all annoying. But yeah, so I'm trying to think, because I've been doing like, because my boyfriend is in a band. And so since I've been going out with him and I've been living like in the city proper, I've gone to like a few different kind of like live music thingies, and that's been a really nice experience because I always wanted to do that, and it wasn't really easy to do before, and I didn't really have anybody that I could really easily just be like, let's go do this thing. So getting to do that is pretty cool, and I think that Evanescence is going to be my first like big concert that I've been to in like quite a few years, because the last one I can remember is Marina, and this would have been like back when only her second album was out, because it was like all like heartbreaker themed, like we drew like little hearts, because that was like part of the album like aesthetic that came with it. Yeah, I really like the first two albums that Marina did, and and then I feel bad because like I feel like she's still like quite popular now, I think, but I kind of fell off after the Fruit album, and I feel like a lot of people liked her kind of like post that era, so it's a little bit weird, but it's nice to see her being successful because I liked her a long time ago. And Charlotte says, are you saying it's going to wake you up inside? Yes, yes it will. Also, Hailstorm is playing that with that. Wow, Hailstorm is also playing that show, which I'm much less familiar with, but they have some good no talk girl angry songs that I like. And then there was a third band that I did not recognize at all. So, it'll probably be, it's gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. We gotta wear our most gothic early 2000s inspired looks and tell the preps not to flam our story. Oh god, am I too old with that reference? Kids know that one now, right? For the young and the old, it is from a fan fiction that is presumably was taking the piss, called My Immortal, and it was a Harry Potter fan fiction starring Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Ravenway, who was so gothic and liked to wear rainbow fishnets, and both Draco Malfoy and goth Harry Potter were in love with her. And Dumbledore, at the time it was like, aw, such crazy things that this version of Dumbledore says, but I feel like in the post Potter Puppet Pals era and just like everybody kind of like being like, Dumbledore's a troll. This is now like headcanon for the fandom. Also, I'm so sorry. I am talking about Harry Potter. That's not cool. That's not my jam. I hate to disclose at this point that I used to be a very big Harry Potter nerd, and I no longer am and have not been for a while. So I have more knowledge about Harry Potter and that universe than I like to let people know, because it's embarrassing now. But at least I didn't get any tattoos, so. Thyra is trying to make everyone jealous. He says we used to work at the same company many years ago, and she used to read the chapters to me while I drove to work. You should be so lucky. Many people wish that they could have had that experience. I also, I read when we were carpooling with my brother-in-law back in the day. I also read him. Oh my god, there's another My Immortal-esque Harry Potter fanfiction that again is like, pretty sure the author was taking the piss, but they were playing it really straight. It's like Hogwarts School for Prayers and something. It's a little bit more like the premise of that one is that it's like, because there was the whole like satanic panic around, although using kind of like big quotation marks because I feel like it wasn't that. But there was a whole thing about people being like, "Oh, Harry Potter is so satanic," So the premise of this fan fiction was that this was the Christian children-friendly one, and it is also very funny. It's not quite as long or as famous as My Immortal, but it's a good one. Honestly, it's also one of those things where like I feel like you're just kind of, I know part of the enduring interest in My Immortal comes from that thing of like back in the day people were like, I don't know if this is like real and somebody's like genuinely sincerely writing this story or if someone's like trolling everyone. And that is just interesting because over the years there's been things where they're like, oh, we found the writer, we found the blah blah blah, and then they're like, no, it wasn't. So it's kind of like an ongoing online mystery, and I'm personally okay with not knowing the writer's exact true identity. I know that there was like someone named Tara, I think, but then I also saw things where they like disproved that that was her. So honestly, iconic. Like, it's one thing to like write a story that's like, everybody loves and you get like really famous and like, from it. But there's something about making a story that is kind of like people latch onto because it is so cringe and, I mean, You cannot say that it's not entertaining. It is a very entertaining story. But just that thing of like it living on in a bit of infamy because it's like, who did this? Like the satisfaction the writer must have for that is like inconceivable. Michelle, this is like the fiction version of cryptids. I was gonna say that I'm like, I almost wanted to call it like a creepy pasta, but it's not, because it's not like it's not a thing of like, oh, did like a ghost write it? You know, it's not like one of those like Reddit stories where it's like, I got the Sonic game, and then the Sonic game was like fire, and then a devil popped up, and it was like, you're gonna die. And I was like, oh my god, Sonic, why? This is a bit more of like a real world kind of like, sometimes you just don't know, and sometimes that's okay. Now I'm like, I want to pull up, I've done a few like kind of like fan art of Enobi Ravenway, and I'm not sure how fast I can find it though. I'm also not sure how many people in the chat is like actually being like, yes, I know about this character, and other people just being like, Jen, shut the fuck up. What the hell are you talking about? These legs are looking a little horsey. Update the tag. Yes, we're doing a history lesson. I mean, honestly, I'm somebody who will watch like a 3-hour deep dive thing about being like old internet mysteries, and I'm like, damn, that is mysterious. What am I looking for? Looking for Enobi. Okay, I'm not sure if this was the one I was looking for. I feel like I did a newer one, but so here's one of the Enobi fan arts I did. This is several years old at this point, but she... now this is making me want to draw her again. But yeah, she had a penchant for colors that didn't, like pairing the red with the blue and the fishness. I feel like I had a little bit of trouble, but again, I'm like, I feel like I could do it now. I feel like I could draw Enobi Dementia. Darkness Dementia Ravenway. Her full name, like Khaleesi. Oh yeah, also all of the characters that she liked in that story were also goth. That was really crucial. And any characters she didn't like were preps. And they go to a good Charlotte concert at Hogsmeade. It's just it's such a time capsule. Thank you, Nico. I was gonna say, I feel like that drawing is probably from like, let me see. This is from, oh my god, it's from 2014. That's a little old. But I mean, this just goes to show you how she haunts me. Again, making art that makes that kind of impression on people is like so powerful. It would be nice if I was talking about something like poignant and not My Immortal. So just to give an idea as to what I'm aiming for with this little drawing is this couple met when one of them used to work at a gym. So they're both kind of fitness people, but it's cool because also they're kind of like alt, so you know, I appreciate the... I feel like I just like any jock with like a mixed in like second like subclass like alternative or goth, or you know, what sold me on trying wrestling, well, watching wrestling, was seeing somebody describe it as it is for basically they're jocks slash theater kids. And I was like, that is so funny. Well, now you have my interest. Unfortunately, they lost my interest when I realized that you had to like pay for expensive channels to like watch the ongoing kind of like drama in the wrestling world, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I feel like a few years back, wrestling was so hot in like the artist community on Twitter, like specifically the comics section. So I was a little bit left out of that, but it was nice to see other people having fun. It was like wrestling and K-pop were both really, really fashionable in like the industry networks, and I was not really into either of those things, so it just wasn't cool. This boy's legs are looking funny. I'm also excited to get something to dress up for this wedding. I have a couple weeks left. And I was like looking for stuff like months ago, and then I was like, I'm just gonna like not focus on this right now and worry about all this other shit I gotta do. But now the time is coming near that I get to go and pick going to a slightly fancy party dress. I am looking forward to that. Oh yeah, here's another fun Gen lore, wedding themed lore. The first wedding I ever attended was mine. You know, because I did not have a lot of family members, like relatives around my age, and also the rest of the youngins my age were not insane and were not getting married. So that's, I don't even want to say that's like a humble brag, because it's just kind of like a statement, but it's just kind of like, kind of funny that that's how that worked out. My man, your legs are weird. Something that I'm a little salty isn't the right word, but just for how things timed out. When me and my boyfriend started going out last year, his girlfriend got his girlfriend, not his girlfriend, like the opposite of his girlfriend. His sister, his single sister, got married a few months before we met, and I'm just like, so rude that you did not anticipate that I would be entering your guys' lives and want to attend a big party. I'm just gonna tell myself that this is a sketch, and I'm probably going to go back and tweak it again anyways, so to not get hyper focused on it, but will that actually do anything? Probably. So both of these people are like shorter than me by a decent amount, but dude is beast. He is one of those people who's like almost wider than he is tall. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna start a fight with you. So now I'm curious, for anybody who's like got married young or like hasn't gotten married yet or whatever, I'm curious if it's like, do you have like dream big party about you, like aesthetic or like concept aspirations? Do people even like think about that now in this, like mostly I'm like people having like, back when I was getting married and watching a lot of TLC shows, it seemed like, you know, a lot of people were going into significant debt to do weddings, and I feel like that's not really the vibe anymore. It's another one of those like, get married for $50,000 in this economy, but pretending that you didn't have to worry about that. Does anybody have any cool big party about you concepts that they would like want to do if money wasn't an issue? Trying to think if there's somewhere like weird that I'd want to go and have a big party if I like, again, if money wasn't an issue. Pyra says in the courtyard of a ruined castle. I'm gonna assume that it is a castle that you have laid siege to, and now you're getting married there. Nico says, I've never been married, but I always envisioned a potential wedding as being a weird performance art, where me and the bride do a piece that ends up with both of us covered in stage blood. You know what, Nico? I think that when you find the right person, you guys will be like brainstorming ideas, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, I have a weird idea, but I have to say it. And you're like, what is it? And they're like, we have to be covered in stage blood by the end of this. And then you'll know. That'll be your litmus test for seeing who your person is. Miss Charlotte says, if my wife and I ever do a vow renewal, we want to do it Victorian style. I feel like, I mean, you guys have also been married for a little bit, Miss Charlotte, so like you could do, like, you know, I don't think it would be crazy for you guys to be like, we're gonna do a vow renewal, but have like a, you know, do it more of like a full like wedding again. Just because I know you've gone through some life changes since you got married originally, and I think you deserve to have like a wedding where you get to be all like gussied up and like wear a nice dress and stuff. So Victorian style, which is much more casual. That's okay, Miss Charlotte. I'm just saying, if you're gonna do a theme, you gotta do the theme. That's cool. But yes, I actually did know that about how Victorian weddings used to be quite modest for the most part. And I believe that it was actually after... Wow, this is a really fun fact that I definitely remember. Oh my god. Wow. After Queen Victoria got married, and she was like, I don't know about you poor people, but look at me. I'm getting big married. I'm doing like a really big fancy wedding that everyone's like, wow, we should all do that. Okay. It's always, my lip is so dry and it's so annoying. He says, I'll just wait for the first date to ask if they're okay with a horror wedding. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate the kind of like somewhat innate goofiness of such a thing, Nico, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like there's certain things that you can use as kind of like litmus tests for like how, wow, starts with the C, how well matched you might be with somebody, where it's like, it might suck if maybe somebody doesn't pass one of those tests, but if it's like, you know, there's certain things where you might just not see eye to eye, but then there's other things where you're like, you might just be like, no, this is very important to me. Blood at my wedding or not happening. She's also the reason that Prince Albert died. The Red Wedding. I was thinking that as I said that. Okay, so what Miss Charlotte is saying is that Queen Elizabeth was original goth queen. I don't know how I feel about that. Victoria, Darkness, Dementia, Raven, Windsor. Oh my god. this gym's shirts look like. Oh, hello. Now we have a Rosie. Hello, Rosie. Hi. Which Canadian gym has the red shirt uniform? Hold on. Is it Rosie, please? Good Life? Yeah, I think you might be right. I am not somebody who goes to the gym, so I did have a membership at Good Life years ago, but I just find it really stressful that you can't, like, you have to commit to like a really long thing, and like the only way to get out of it is to like transfer it to somebody else, like a cursed artifact. Because even if it was like you could do like, I don't know, maybe some gyms do this, but like, you know, doing like a month or a couple months, but not having to commit to like an entire year. Because yes, that just stresses me out. Rosie. Hi. How can I help you? Wow. Charlotte says I went to a Good Life. The trainer said I was too fat to go to the gym. And that's like definitely one of those things where it's like, what do you want from me here, buddy? Like, do you not... Why do you think I'm coming here? Because I want to work on my fitness. Yeah, that's not cool. Especially if, hopefully you had not paid for like a membership already. And Nico says you could just leave your gym membership on a street corner and hope somebody picks it up and gets stuck with it. Boyfriend's telling me I have to get a ticket for his show. Why do I have to get a ticket for your show, boyfriend? I'm your +1. Told me that I wouldn't really get much out of the membership with my body type, and I wouldn't be able to use a full. So? Like, you know, not that you necessarily... You also don't want the opposite of being like, you know, that they're really overselling stuff that is like, I hope you use the full range of your arm and slapped him. That's... I feel that. Yeah, no, that's so rude. And for what it's worth, I do feel like a lot of like personal trainers and stuff like that are kind of like, you know, they understand that people are not necessarily coming in who are already like really like athletic or like, you know. Yeah. Rosie has joined us and has now added an additional challenge level to this. You are incorrigible. I know. I love you very much. This is my tablet, by the way, so right now I have less than half to work with. I love you. I love you so much, and you are so in the way. She's like, no regrets. Would do it again. Oh, also, Wheeljack, hello! Apologies for not reading your little salutation earlier, but welcome to the chat. I have sort of started to draw something. Yeah, well, and like I also looked into like, I don't know, even like going to like city gyms is not like super super cheap, but I realize I might just be like my expectations for what it should cost might be too high. So Rosie, please. Rosie, please. Rosie, please. Hi. What's up? Yeah. What's up? Yes, look. Okay, look. Loki's just like, guess who's back, bitches? Pyra. Sounds like that dude was spewing BS. One of my good buds is a trainer, and he's basically said as long as you're in the gym for 20 minutes and are moving, trying to do stuff, then that's a good starting point. That's a much better customer service attitude, I would say. Because again, you also don't want them to be like kind of like snake oiling you, but you know, the gym is supposed to be for all different levels of like fitness and like people's like, you know, not everybody is 100% able-bodied. Does that mean that they shouldn't be welcome at a gym? I would say that wouldn't be very nice. But I feel like we're all on the same page here, and hopefully that person was a low-level hex to wish upon them. I hope that when they microwave something at night, they never get the door before it dings and somebody comments on it. I was gonna say, I hope that every time. I think that somebody put this curse on me. Well, low level annoyance hex. That every time you go to open a car door, it's like you'll never grab it at the right moment, so it never opens on the first try. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but the data would suggest that that is the case. Hey Rosie, how about you? Fyra says you're always rushing, and I say, no, Fyra. It's the low-level annoyance hex. Gym equipment. What do it be? What is it doing? Disregard what Fyra is saying. It is slander. Okay. I feel like that looks like it could be a sketch for this one. If you observe my excellent layer management, okay. So second we had house, I think. The second we have buying a home. Okay. And this one I feel like is gonna be kind of fun because I asked my friend for like a picture of just like the front of their house, so I could do kind of like a low detail, kind of like simple line art drawing, but make it like it's something that is easier to make pretty like personal or like bespoke, I guess. Wow, great. House. Engagement. Verbs. Okay. Also, did our music stop? What has happened to that? What are you doing? Do you guys still have music? I got a widget. I feel like to take a shot every time I try to like troubleshoot something Twitch related. Um, hmm. Okay. Because I got like a widget that's like supposed to be. I'll put it at the top of the stack so you can see it. Streamlabs music widget. Hello, Rosie. I know you are so large. You are so in charge. Is it here? Oh. Yeah, so it says that. Are you doing anything right now? Okay. I don't know. I had the fun experience the last couple of days that I finally got Baldur's Gate 3 on my computer. And you know, that I was like, oh, I'm excited. I like have enough room for it because it's a big freaking game. And it was just the amount of like hurdles I have had to jump over to get it going is kind of ridiculous, if I had to say. So, because first I had to like update my NVIDIA. So I was like, okay, I have done that. And then I had to. I was trying to activate my Windows because I couldn't run it without having like an official like product key. And that was a whole thing that we don't necessarily have to get into, but I spent like several hours the other evening trying to get it to work and being like, why is this not recognizing? Like I went and I bought like a product key online and stuff like that, and it was still like not working. So this morning I finally had the right type of product key and that I put in, and it was just like, it worked. And I was like, you know what? Cool. That is done. I'm going to not think about the amount of time that I spent trying to get this to work. I haven't launched Baldur's Gate though, so I might not be out of the woods yet, but that seemed like it was kind of like the big deal. And hopefully I won't have like another thing like that again. Rosie's like, I could have done it. Right, Rosie? You could have helped with tech support? Yeah. Yeah. What do you know about installing Windows activation keys, huh? Yeah. Sarah, stop telling me things. As I said, I need to see if I can boot it up and see if I get an error message again. And for now, I am just living in the moment of being like, I fixed it. As long as possible. But yes, because I did do a bunch of like updates and stuff like that, so it should be good. Oh, Rosie, stop. Can you go lay not right here, baby? I love you. I love you very much. And you're so large. Can you go over here? Thank you. Usually updates will solve any issues. Like, you don't understand. I was like Windows R CMDing things because I was like, I don't know. This is what it's telling me to do. God damn it, Rosie. That is not why I moved this stuff. Thank you, Nico. I don't know if I can be proud yet, but also so Rosie. You are just knocking everything over. People think that I was joking when I was being like, this is my cat. This is why my work gets so slowed down sometimes. Because she knows how cute she is. She knows that I feel bad moving her. But yes. Yeah, the real reason that the graphic that Harley took so long to come out also. I feel like I was like doing that like NPC thing at my cons the last couple of weeks of just being like, you know, but the Harley book is out on, I believe, August 1st. Wait, no. God damn it. October 1st. So that's really soon. And maybe I will actually get a copy of it. Because I think my comps got sent to my old house in Gatineau in Quebec. So I think a French person has my comps. They haven't reached out to me, so, you know. It's okay. Rosie, you are so big on my tablet. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna scoot you. I feel like Rosie is the cat that needs like a little laptop to lay on. Music, where hath you gone, and why? Okay. Where Loki am? Loki is... You see? She is the opposite of large and in charge, and that dog is in the little bed on the floor. She's being good right now, though. Oh, wait. My friend didn't have bangs back then. My bad. Rosie, please. It's too bad. They looked kind of cute on this one, but that's okay. Confused as to why this keeps closing. Can I put you over here? Yeah, Whalejack. So my little explanation for this is some friends of my boyfriend and also me by proxy are getting married in October, and one of them had asked if I could do kind of like a sequence of kind of big moments, I guess, in their relationship so far, and then I'm gonna do like a actual like wedding day one. And they're gonna kind of be like in this style, so I think there's gonna be more grayscale to it. But yes, so focusing more on like line art and kind of like a specific color rather than like doing like full color, and then the actual wedding one is gonna be like a full color like my usual things. So yeah, I haven't gotten to do like a wedding commission in a while, and I quite like doing them, so. Also, Wheeljack, remind me, are you Josh? Because if so, I wanted to work on your commission. Okay. I just wanted to ask, this isn't like secret, I don't think. You had mentioned wanting to it's because it's at the end of the list. Um, big brain. You'd mentioned about wanting to hold off on me starting your commission because there might have been more like footage slash reference of the character you wanted done. And I think you said that it was going to be releasing on like the 16th of this month. So I didn't hear an update from you, so I'm assuming that it's kind of like I'm good to go with the reference that I have. Or should I wait? Oh, you sent me a message on Patreon. Okay. My apologies. I will, let me take a look. Because, sorry, no, I didn't realize I had a pending message from you, so I apologize about that. I was not specifically ignoring you. Yeah, that's weird. I guess if you sent it while I was, like, out of town, I guess I wouldn't have gotten the email notification, or I might not have seen the email notification. Yes, I was just thinking about it, like, yesterday. It's a boy. Big Smith, the 16th. Oh my god. I feel like I do this to myself where I like draw the forearm at like a weird angle and then I'm like, how do I do this? Why am I doing this to myself? How goes the art? Well, Big Smith, as you can see, this. For now, I am working on, so I'm gonna do like 4. Okay, cool, Jack. I will plan that for a not too distant stream then if I'm good to go with the reference that I have. It's a Castlevania commission, so I'm looking forward to it. I figured that's also just like a fun one to do like on stream because it's, you know, it's like a character that people might know slash I can like share reference or whatever. But yeah, no, Big Smith, I am doing 4 less like complicated drawings of my friends who are getting married next month. Just like 4 events from their relationship so far. That's kind of like big moments. So far I've done when they met, back when one of them worked at Good Life Fitness, and this one is going to be them when they got their house key. And also the whole house, I presume. Thank you, Big Smith. To be fair, the third one I'm going to be drawing a dog and 2 cats as well, so look forward to that. What are we doing here? What's happening? What's going on? Yeah, I feel like I will probably start inking these today. We shall see how long I'm streaming for, because I feel like the last few times that I have done like a streaming session, I'm like, I want to like go for a while, because I know that like not everybody is around in the afternoon or whatever, and also just if I'm like in a flow on something, it's nice to keep going. But also I know that it is kind of like a lot of energy, so I know that I should probably try to not stop when I'm already like out of energy for the day. But Oh yeah, I guess as a somewhat abstract sort of question, and I'm sure that you people, I'm sure that this is remarks that you have made before, and just my brain is a sieve. I am trying to make an effort for next year to try and do some more shows than just like Toronto kind of thing. Um, so I'm seeing about if I can get selected to do like Calgary and Vancouver would be nice. I want to get in touch with like the Comic Con organizers and like because they have an Ottawa one, which would be easy. Um, and they have some like out like I think they have Halifax Con that would be kind of cool to do. But also I'm kind of like wanting to see about maybe doing my first American show because I have never done a show in America, and I feel like I would like to now. So, um, I've basically, yay America. Unpopular opinion presently. Sorry. Um, yeah, so like I already applied for the ones that are through Fan Expo, so I guess I will see if any of those ones are a yes. Um, yeah, it kind of depends on if either like A, how much it'll be for me to go somewhere, and B, how much stuff is being covered by the shows for me. Because it is Boo America. um, because it is kind of sucky that it's like, it's like, oh, well, you're like a pro comic book artist. Can't you afford to go to like a fancy hotel and do all this stuff? And it's like, no. I am rich in friends and people's kindness, which is why I need them to cover my hotel. On the topic of being super famous with very large quotation marks, in Edmonton, I did a panel that was like a creator spotlight, and I was the creator. It was okay, I think. I don't feel like it was bad. Just it feel like the organizers were kind of doing their best with this show, and that stuff was a bit confused because certain people who were organizing it like couldn't be there or like were sick or like so but no, Kevin Longfellow, hold on, I'm gonna look it up because I don't want to say someone's name and get it wrong. So one of the organizers who was kind of doing a lot of the stuff was a gentleman named Kevin Longman. It's not a fellow, he's a man. Kevin Longman, and two moderators that were lined up to do my panel were not available, so he ended up kind of filling in at the last moment, and I think we had like a good chat. I still feel kind of like weird right now with like I guess like the questions that we were talking about were a little bit more like general for my work, but just like talking about like the process on Harley is currently something that is like, I don't know. I feel like as usual I was decently candid talking about like kind of how mental health and like processing disorder like ADHD stuff intersects with my work, which I guess is the slightly less bleak way of explaining why it took me so long to do the last two graphic novels. But locking in to draw this house apparently. Honestly, I actually really like drawing kind of like suburban like houses and stuff like that. I guess because it's like just very nostalgic for me at this point. Um, Even though I'm not a huge fan of newer suburban builds, but I remember when I was younger and I was so like, I never want to live in a suburb. I like, blah blah blah. And I still have, whatever sort of moral quandaries about like suburbs and like urban creep and not fostering natural communities in your neighborhoods and stuff. Um, but I feel like life kind of got to a point where it's like, you're very funny. You thought you were ever going to have a choice of if you wanted to live in the suburbs or not. Yeah, that was something though when I was working on Harley and also the Aja book, but I feel like with Harley I was being a little bit more specific with looking for like references for like neighborhoods and stuff in New Jersey, and trying to make like Gotham versus where Harlene's family has moved look different from each other was cool. Just because it's like a lot of stuff obviously is like, a suburb kind of looks like a suburb in a lot of places, but that doesn't mean that they all look alike. And I know that's one of those things that if I were to draw the sort of like style of houses and neighborhoods, like the area where that I'm familiar with, is like those aren't necessarily going to look like other suburbs, even in like the upper states. So I think that's interesting. Also, it was really hard to find references for like, this probably sounds very goofy, but finding references for like, because I was like, where do rich people in New York live? So that was another rabbit hole that I went down, kind of doing research of being like, what kind of big houses do these people live in? Where would they be? And like, what does it look like when a really rich person lives like actually in a city center? So penthouses are crazy. I was able to find some things that were like, because honestly, I don't want to say like my secret hack, because it's not like, but I find it is helpful when I'm looking for sort of like neighborhood styles and just kind of like what kind of like buildings are exactly in a specific area. Going on like a real estate sites is pretty helpful because you're like looking at it on a map and you can be like, okay, and you can also creep on the inside of the house. You can also creep the inside of the houses and see like what is kind of like the style of the interior as well, which can be quite helpful for location design and not at all creepy. But so I found some sites that were like specifically realtor sites for selling these like hugely like expensive, like insanely expensive penthouses and stuff. And I was just like looking at rich people houses for sale. I'm just like, I know this already, that I'm like, y'all are on a whole different planet, but just like they're on a whole different planet. It is kind of intense to see what all gets included in a rich person house. Also, I don't want to seem too impressive. I am using a reference image here, so I'm just mostly trying to follow what that is looking like. This is a very extremely off-topic remark, but because Miss Charlotte said Connecticut is where the rich live in New York State, apparently. I mean, sorry, I'm not sure why I'm saying it like that. That's just not one, I guess, that I knee-jerk think of for being like a rich area. So I am unsure if you are making a Connecticut dig or if you are just being factual. Uh, but is that I was like very specifically annoyed recently because I was like, for some reason, I really wanted to watch The Haunting in Connecticut, um, which is a decently old movie at this point. I saw it in theaters a very long time ago. Um, and so for whatever reason, I had a hankering to watch that, and I was looking on like my Roku to see if I hadn't on anything, and they had The Haunting in Connecticut too, and not the first one. And I'm just like, y'all, disappointing because that is definitely a movie where the second one is not very good. Sorry to any Haunting in Connecticut 2 stands in the chat. If they're rich, but not rich. Capital R rich. Slay the Princess, the Pristine Cut releases next month. You know what I have still not played? Wheeljack. I don't know if anyone else. I know, I feel like you specifically have recommended it to me before, and I feel bad for not like. I'm pretty sure it's on the Switch too. I don't know why it just like hasn't super. I don't want to say piqued my interest because more like gameplay style, I guess. I'm like not sure if I'm interested in playing it, but I have not heard bad things about it, so it's more just like a me thing. I feel like I've been in stasis waiting for the Stardew Valley thing to come to console, the like expansion. And because of that, I can't play anything else until that's out. I think that I'm slightly joking, slightly not joking. I think that the release date for that is in November. Yeah, but so I like specifically haven't. Wow, I specifically haven't like gotten the updated version like on my computer or anything like that because I do have a quite modded version of Stardew on my computer, and I'm just like, I played it first on the Switch, and I'm just like, I like playing it on the Switch. I don't like playing it at my desk. I honestly don't like playing very many games at my desk. Like I play Power Wash Simulator on my Switch. I play House Flipper on the Switch. Mostly the thing of being like, I want to like get away, I guess, from my, you know, I spend a decent amount of my time at my desk working, in theory. But like, you know, it is nice to be able to like play games not there. And like, cause I have a PS4, so vintage. Uh, and so obviously like that's one that you have to like sit and play on the TV rather than a handheld. And that one can also feel like a bit of a hard sell. I don't know why. I don't have a really good reason for that. I'm just like, I just want to play it on the Switch. But yeah, no. Power Wash Simulator is like, I say this jokingly, but also kind of not jokingly, is like, it's probably one of my favorite games, you know, and I say that in the way of like, you know, I don't love it in the way I love like BioShock, you know, but it's just like I spend so much time playing it and I really love the gameplay in it, and I liked the kind of little like story that was going on in the background that was like definitely takes a turn while still being pretty like goofy about it. Also, I spent a lot of time playing that game last year when I moved out on my own, so I was playing a lot of Stardew and Power Wash Simulator, and trying not to feel my feelings. So, I say it worked. I was happy while I was playing Power Wash Simulator. Also, there's a DLC that I bought, and I just like haven't played it yet. That's like an Alice in Wonderland themed one. So again, I don't know why I haven't started it, but I haven't yet. But I made sure to go and buy it when I saw it was a thing. Also, I left it. The only issue I ever had was finding. Yeah, I feel like depending on the level, finding the last little bit of dirt, like sometimes it will kind of like give you like help you out a little bit and be like, ah, you didn't do as precisely with this section, but it's cool, you did it. And then sometimes it would be really like particular of being like, I don't know, I don't think this is done yet. But I did like the thing that like it would tell you in theory where you'd missed it, and you kind of had to like problem solve to be like, okay, well, first of all, where is this? And second of all, where is that dirt? I also like to try and challenge myself to see if I like how far I can get in like a stage without using like ladders or anything like that. Just like I feel like I don't want to say I parkour more in that game than intended. I think I do the right amount of parkouring, but as I said, I like the little challenge of trying to be like, how much can I complete? Like, can I complete this whole level without using a ladder? This is really exciting, Power Wash Simulator. Gosh. Wow, brain. Yeah, like there's also a Final Fantasy DLC that I think was free at the time when I happened to get it. That's like you have to clean this really huge giant mech in it, and there is something very satisfying about that because it's such like an interesting like thing to like climb around on and be like, what's in here? And you have to like press buttons to make like different arms and like wings and stuff go out. So yeah, no. Sometimes I think if I was not doing this full time, I'm like, I would I would power wash in real life. That seems like it would be a fun job. No thoughts, only power wash. A power washer for my house. I also, well, I don't have it anymore. My ex has it, but we did buy a power washer to do our siding, and it did okay. But I will say, it was satisfying. Also, we didn't spend a crazy amount on it, so I don't know what I would do with a power washer in my apartment, to be fair. But yeah, oh yeah, something else that I feel like in real life, you're definitely a lot more like, the water and stuff is real, so you kind of don't want to just like use a whole lot the whole time. But something I was thinking that would be kind of cool. Power Wash Simulator developers, if you're gonna like add more features, here's a suggestion. I liked the idea of having like some challenges that had like more physics involved in them. So it would be like, if you clean the bottom of something and then clean the top of it, the bottom would get dirty again. So you kind of had to like problem solve that as well. Also the thing of like in the game, you don't have to worry about like, where am I draining the water? It just disappears. So like those sorts of considerations. As I said, I realize it would be like a lot to code, and I don't know how much more fun it would specifically make it. But just like thinking about like adding physics to some of the like bigger like setting things seems like it would be cool. I don't know, I just think about Power Wash Simulator sometimes. Now we're gonna draw some pets. Sorry, deleting your face. So these guys have a French bulldog, and then a long-haired black cat and a long-haired ginger cat. So getting lots of long-haired animals, and one not long-haired animal. I said I haven't done like family portraits in a while, so I do like doing them. Do dog have tail? I will say, I feel like I still don't have like 100% confidence doing this because like with drawing cats, you can kind of get away with like, unless it's a very specific looking kind of cat, you can just kind of draw a cat. For a dog, you have to know how to draw a lot of different kinds of dogs to draw dogs. I remember a while ago I actually downloaded an app on my phone that was like a kind of like what that dog sort of thing, because people would send me pictures of their dogs and not like, you know, I would want to look up additional reference for them, but I would need to know like what kind of dog is this? I am not well versed enough to know. That is kind of what a dog looks like. Excuse me. Yeah. Hello. You good? Hi, Rosie. How's it going? Hi. Thank you, Rosie. That is a good amount of tablet to share. I'm willing to share that much with you. Stream foreshortening. My mouth is dry. Everyone should take a hydration moment. And then find somewhere to put their water. That will not get knocked over by Rosie. Thanks for tuning in for a bit, Wheeljack. I hope you have a good rest of your day. This one is a little more specific because I have an actual picture from when he proposed to her. So. Goodbye, Miss Charlotte. Go and procure thine groceries. Sorry, Rosie. Good job, Mr. Piggy. I'm sure your chinchilla is greatly appreciative of their clean condo. I feel like I've said this before. I like it when pets have people names. Liam the chinchilla in his condo. He sounds like a very hip young man. Okay. So that is all of our little vignettes there. Stacked on top of each other because of course they are. Kind of want to do a thing that these are like actually like collaged. That can be nice to do sometimes. It's 13. He came with the name from the shelter. I realized it was better than anything I would think of. That's fair. How old was Liam when he came home? I think he was 6 months. Oh, okay, so he's a little baby still, but that's fair. I don't know if chinchillas learn their name like a dog does, etc. But I can understand if you're just like, you know what, this is good. Rosie, please. I don't know. Kind of fits a little better. This one, horizontal one, is throwing me off a little. See, this can definitely be a fun part where I'm like, I have all these pieces, now how do I make them fit together? Also, I just want to say I might play Power Wash Simulator after I'm done the stream today. It has made me want to play it. I'm gonna say that part of my problem with this composition is that I'm working on a slightly wider canvas than I usually do, and I think that that is throwing me off a little bit. So I'm gonna pretend I'm not. I don't know, is he? You're still rather in the way. I know. Why am I moving this? I don't know why. I'm just gonna send this a preview on it. Oh, so you don't need to see my other screens. Izzy is just ever so slightly on my tablet, and it is making things difficult. If we go like this. Yeah, maybe. look at what I'm contending with. She does not care. Rosie, I love you. I would love if you moved a little bit. Hi, Fern. How you doing, puppy girl? How you doing, puppy girl? You're so beautiful. I love you. I know, I'm flipping things around again. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm not. I'm gonna lose the puppy here. Sorry, I realize this is probably not the most exciting part of the process to watch me try and figure out, but figure it out we must. Asking important pet questions. Sorry, as I said, I know that watching this is not super exciting. You can probably smell rubber burning as my brain is getting overclocked. Now you might be like, why did you make all of those layers separate only to do that? And to that I say, shush. Oh, wait, maybe I should... Okay, maybe I shouldn't have merged them together yet. Hold on though. That's what I wanted to do. I feel like I can draw around Rosie for the most part when she's taking up part of my tablet, but it is hard for me to reach these things on the far right without like having to use my mouse. Sorry, I know I'm doing it again. Tuck her legs in a little bit more aesthetically for how this composition is coming out. I get to cheat a little bit there on the dog that I was like, is this a dog shape? I don't know. I think we're almost at inks. She's very exciting. Kind of feel like I want to start with the proposal one first, because I feel like that drawing looks pretty good, and like I don't have to do too much guesswork. Big stretch. You should do a stretch if you have not been moving for the last little while. Hey Rosie, you need to do a big stretch? Oh my god, excuse me. officially on to starting to mix. My mouth continues to be quite dry. Doesn't help that biting my lip like that is kind of a stimming thing slash a ticking thing, but resin. So what pen did I use? Okay, I used a kind of soft one. I think I might have used this one. Clearly I spoke too soon. I'll try that a little bit. Okay. feel like it might be almost time to take a little break. As you can see that I am having trouble with this freaking highlights. Take a little break, go feed the puppy princess. She has disappeared. I do not know where she is. I know, I'm sorry I was done on the face. JK, never done. Oh. Yes, Rosie. Okay. let's take a break. I was gonna do a shorter break, so maybe be back in like 20-ish minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. Wait, coming back later, yeah. As I said, I'm not gonna do a really long one. I just want to give Fern her food because I know it's 5 o'clock and she's starving. You wanna come say hi? Come back here, sweetie. Oh, puppy. Hi. Although it looks like it might be down to just you and me right now, Arf, so maybe I will stop the stream and come back shortly. I'm pull tight puck. Cool. I feel like I made a good progress on this. So yes, I will give a heads up when I'm gonna be coming back. But yes, thank you for chilling. Thank you, Arif. I mean, Fyra. I will see y'all in a little bit.